Again, we are continuing the theme of Annapurna abundance. In this segment, I want to share with you a model, a theoretical conceptual model moving towards sustainability at that time. The word regeneration was not as popular at that time, at the beginning of this century, that is 1999 and 2000. Just like how I presented Professor Bill Reed's model, and let's see how theories are built. This is one example of how a person like Pramod Parajuli can also articulate a theoretical framework. And this is very much based on my education at Stanford, then my research in India among the tribal indigenous populations and their ecologies. And then what happened in 1919 and 2000 is I had an opportunity to go to 6 countries with 28 students from American universities and colleges. They were kind of at the end of their like a undergraduate degree, bachelor's degree. And this 9-month, can you now imagine 28 students and 3 faculty with our backpack running to 6 countries, different parts, and kind of completing a whole 2 semester, and I was one of the core faculty teaching anthropology, culture, ecology, and but then in each country, and the countries where first we went to US, that is Washington DC, to understand what kind of policies are made. You know, there we met people like Herman Daly talking about ecological economics and World Bank and why World Bank fell, and that. And then we went to England. In England, we were part of this journal called the Ecologist. The people who made that, that wrote that journal, they were our host. And then we went to Schumacher College, and we went to Cambridge, we went to Oxford, and met with all these think tanks of England. And then we went to Tanzania, where we saw that the people were eating what they were not growing, and they were growing what they were not eating. A sure sign of unsustainability. Right? Then we went to India, where we went to Western Ghats and Delhi and some other places. Then we went to New Zealand. Oh, that was fascinating for me. And then we went all the way, then we came to US, and then from LA we went to Mexico, and then we came to Boston, where we ended, and in Boston again we worked with civil society and all that. During that period, I was making notes like, what is the pattern? What's happening? And this is what I saw. The alchemy of realigning ecologies and economies was needed because economy, which should be the baby of the ecology, was becoming the mother and eating up the ecology. That's the extractive model, right? Then what was very important was, it was then affecting who was getting what. Who was getting money, who was getting profit, who was getting unemployment and exploited. And also there was the factor of biocultural diversities, where now the indigenous forest trees were taken out, industrial trees were planted, like that. So I developed a model where I said, to move towards sustainability, we need intra and intergenerational partnership between the sea, equity and economy. Then between equity, justice and ecology, interspecies partnership. That's where the pluri-species comes into the Annapurna thinking. Then between economy and cultural diversity, we want inter-economic partnership, the rural, urban, the agriculture industry, restaurant and the farmer, bug gardener, and biocultural diversity and ecology, it is intercultural partnership. So this came through the very deep observation of the reality in 6 countries and my understanding from whatever I have read and people I have met, and this became the foundational pillar for developing master's programs and PhD programs. So now it has evolved into Annapurna Pluriversities, but this is one of the very strong foundation because that brings the social human dimension, right? Then the natural and the biological dimension, then economy and ecology.